hated Valentine's Day. Not because she was single, but because the world got too bright on purpose. That afternoon, her best friend Tessa slid into a coffee booth, cheeks red from the cold, grinning like she had a secret. She pushed her phone across the table. A dating app. A new match. His name was Callum. No last name, no socials. Just a perfect smile and messages that felt rehearsed. Mia tried to joke it off, but her stomach stayed tight. Tessa rolled her eyes and sent her location anyway, just in case. Then, she said, he picked the place and promised it would be public and safe. Before leaving, Tessa added one more thing. He said he had a surprise for her. That night, Mia kept her phone in her hand like a flashlight. At 8:07, Tessa texted, "Here, cute place. Kinda dark though, LOL." She sent a photo of a small restaurant with red lights in the window. The sign said, "The Honeysuckle Room," but one letter flickered like it did not want to stay lit. At 8:12, another text. Host knows his name. Weird. Mia replied immediately. If it feels off, leave. No answer. Minutes passed. The typing bubbles appeared, then vanished. At 8:16, Tessa finally texted, "You are dramatic. I'm fine. They sat me already." Then nothing. 8:29. Silence. Mia called. Voicemail. Again. Voicemail. Mia drove downtown with the location pin glowing on her screen. The restaurant sat between a closed boutique and a florist that looked abandoned. Inside the Honeysuckle Room, the air smelled sweet, like old roses left in water too long. Couples sat at tables, but nobody spoke. No forks, no laughter. Just quiet. A hostess in a pale pink dress smiled at Mia. "Am looking for my friend," Mia said. "Tessa Ward." "Of course," the hostess whispered. "She is expected. This way." The carpet swallowed Mia's footsteps. Red light painted the walls. As they passed a table set for two, Mia saw a heart-shaped candy bag beside a chocolate box. A receipt peeked out of the bag like it was placed there on purpose. Mia snatched it and unfolded the paper. Order. Summary. 1 heart claimed. 1 heart reserved. Her phone buzzed. Unknown number. Mia answered. "Tessa?" A man's voice came through, calm and warm. Mia. Her blood went cold. She had not said her name. "Where is she?" Mia demanded. The man chuckled softly. "No waste tonight. I can see you. You are almost at the door." Mia looked up. At the far end of the room, a tall figure stood in shadow, watching. Then Mia heard it. A faint tapping, like fingernails on glass. She turned toward the front window. In the florist shop next door, Tessa stood behind the glass, hands pressed to it. Her eyes were wide. Her mouth moved with no sound. A thin line of red streaked her chin. Mia lunged for the exit. The hostess stepped in front of her too fast, smile too wide. "Please do not interrupt the matching." Mia grabbed the doorknob. Pain snapped through her hand. She yanked back. Thorns were woven around the handle, biting into her skin. The man sighed into the phone, almost gentle. 1 heart was claimed. 1 heart was reserved. Mia stared at the receipt, shaking. Behind her, chairs scraped the carpet as the silent couple stood up together. Her phone buzzed again. A final message from Tessa's number lit up the screen. "I am sorry. He said it was you or me." Candy hearts spilled from the torn bag at Mia's feet. One landed face up, pink letters clear under the red light. "Be mine."
Caleb found the Valentine in a shoebox marked Old Mail. 8 years ago, he bought it for Hannah the day he promised flowers and an apology. Instead, he showed up late, empty-handed and stubborn. Hannah stood in the doorway with her coat on. "You don't get to walk away like I meant nothing," she'd said, On February 14th this year, Caleb tossed the card into the trash and went to bed. He woke to paper sliding across his pillow. The envelope sat there, sealed with fresh red wax. The seal wasn't a heart. It was a ring. He opened it under the lamp. The printed poem was scratched out, replaced by Hannah's handwriting. "You finally found me. Don't make me wait again." His phone had no signal. Wi-Fi showed full bars. But every app loaded a blank screen and a spinning ring. At work, someone showed him a photo. Caleb on one knee, Hannah laughing, balloons overhead. The balloons looked too glossy, too wet. Not hearts, something closer to organs. Caleb checked his own phone. New album, our wedding, dozens of photos, all dated today. Him and Hannah smiling in places he'd never been. When he deleted one, 2 more appeared. Then he noticed his left hand, a simple gold band on his ring finger, too tight. He yanked at it and felt skin catch, like the ring had teeth. A text arrived from an unknown number. "Tonight, 7 o'clock, you already promised," and an address, his childhood church, burned down years ago. By dusk, candles dotted his yard in neat lines. A white veil hung from the handle. The doorbell rang once, then again, closer, as if it came from inside the walls. A slow knock followed. 3 taps, a pause. 3 taps. The ring tightened. Caleb opened the door. The air smelled like rain and grave soil. At the end of the walkway stood Hannah in a white dress that did not move in the wind. Her smile was gentle. Her eyes were glossy, like old glass. "You came," she said. Behind her, the street was full of guests in dark clothes, heads turned toward him in perfect unison. Caleb swallowed. "Hannah, I'm sorry. She raised her hand, palm up. On her finger was a band, identical to his. Under the skin of her wrist, faint green lines branched like roots. "No more running," she whispered. The guests stepped forward together. Caleb tried to step back. The door behind him shut on its own. The deadbolt slid, closed. His phone buzzed, suddenly alive. A calendar alert filled the screen. Wedding, starting now. Hannah's smile widened, and candlelight revealed a faint seam at her throat. Tiny stitches, petals, pressed into her skin like bruise. She reached for him. The ring bit down. His hand rose to meet hers, even as his mind screamed no. When their fingers touched, Caleb felt something warm move under his skin, threading itself into place, like a knot being tied. "Till death do us part," Hannah said. The guests echoed it in a hollow chorus. Caleb realized the worst part wasn't that she came back. It was that something else had come with her, wearing love like a dress, and it had been waiting inside that sealed envelope the whole time.
They called it a Valentine special, a couple's escape room named True Love. It seemed a little too perfect. They found the last-minute deal when their reservations fell through. The lobby was dressed in drooping paper hearts and cheap roses, and the neon sign above the desk buzzed. Mara squeezed Eli's hand while they signed the waiver. The attendant in a red vest smiled too steadily. 3 rules, she said. No phones, no force, no lies. The timer on the wall was already counting down from 60 minutes, like the room had started without them. The first door shut behind them with a soft click that sounded final. Inside was a candlelit, romantic apartment set, table for 2, plates, glasses, and place cards that read ELI and MARA in familiar handwriting. A speaker crackled, "Welcome, Mara and Eli. To advance, offer each other a truth." A heart dial safe sat under the table with a slot for a note. Eli tried to laugh. "Okay, truth, you first." Mara's throat tightened. "I hate when you go silent during fights. It makes me feel alone in the room." The safe beeped once. Eli swallowed. "I still check your location sometimes," he said. "I tell myself it's for safety." The safe clicked open. Inside was a printed screenshot of Mara's text to a friend. "I don't know if I love him or if I just love not being alone." Eli read it, and the candlelight suddenly felt like fire in a place with no exits. What the hell? Eli muttered. The next door opened into a narrow hallway of framed photos. Mara's stomach dropped when she realized the faces were theirs, caught from across streets and through windows. Her crying on a porch, Eli sitting in his car outside her work, waiting. Beneath the frames were 3 slots labeled First Lie, Worst Lie, Last Lie, and a box of cards with dates. The speaker said, gentle as a therapist, match the memory to the moment you lied. Silence for a moment. Is this some kind of sick joke? Eli yelled into the empty room. No response from speaker. Mara stood frozen in shock and fear, gripping her elbows. We're getting out of here, Eli muttered. He picked up a card and stared at Mara. October 3rd. You said you were working late. The air felt tighter, the hallway thinner. I met my sister, Mara admitted, words scraping out. I didn't want another fight. A chime sounded. A frame slid aside, revealing a keypad with 8 numbers carved above it, both of their birthdays. Mara stifled a sob and strains. Why is this happening to us? The final room was bare, cold, and dim. 2 chairs faced each other. A glass case in the center held a single key on velvet. Above it, the exit. Below it, only one. A panel on the wall lit up with 2 buttons, one labeled Eli and one labeled Mara. True love requires sacrifice, the speaker said. Press the name of the one you love most. Mara's heart hammered. That's not love, she whispered. That's a trap. Eli's jaw clenched like he was biting back something sharp. The timer hit 5 minutes, and the lights dimmed. A vent near the floor clicked open, and a faint metallic smell slid into the room. Mara's eyes watered. Eli coughed hard, and panic flashed across his face. Stop, Mara shouted. Open the door. Silence. Let us out of here. She screamed into the silence. Only the hiss, only the timer, only the buttons waiting. They sat in the chairs across from each other. Eli looked at Mara like he was making peace with a terrible decision. He reached across the table and held her hands. It has to be you, he rasped. Maybe it doesn't work the way we think it does, Mara scrambled. Like maybe if we tell the truth, we'll be okay. Eli shook his head slowly. There's no way I can risk losing you. It felt so final when he pressed the button. Mara. The panel beeped, cheerful. The glass case unlocked with a crisp click. Mara felt relief for half a breath, then dread. Something cold snapped around her ankles from beneath the chair and ratcheted tight. Eli tried to lunge, but the same restraints latched him to his chair. Thank you for telling the truth. You've sacrificed the one you love most. The timer stopped. On the far wall, a camera feed showed the lobby and the smiling attendant welcoming the next couple. Eli stared at Mara, horror flooding his eyes. No, he whispered. Mara's fear tightened around her throat, as if it was choking her. The exit door unlocked with a gentle click behind Eli, as Gears slowly pulled his chair out the door. No, Eli screamed at the top of his lungs. You can't do this to us. He strained against the steel with every fiber of his being. He locked eyes with Mara as tears were streaming down her face, then blackness as the door snapped shut, a click that echoed with finality.
Before you go, hit the subscribe button. New scary stories dropped every Saturday. If you're a fan of terrifying tales, turn on notifications. And tell me in the comments, what should the next nightmare be about?